guys, we're going to go over what this assignment looks like a little bit. You are going to be doing a character analysis of Walter Mitty, and you're going to be comparing his real life, his reality, to his fantasy life. Okay, this is the grade sheet. If you were not here yesterday, Coach Rains has copies for you, one per person. You'll turn in one for your whole group, but that way everybody knows exactly what you're being graded on, okay? You'll notice that it is divided up this way for grading even, right? This is where you're going to put the kind of evidence you've chosen. So you'll need those notes that you took. And you'll be listing those looks, speech, relationships here to indicate what kind of evidence it is. And then you'll actually be using this body outline, like a chalk drawing, right? As the basis for what you're writing. So I'm going to kind of give you an idea of what that could look like. I am going to be using The Sniper by Liam O'Flaherty, just because you're doing a different story, so obviously I don't use the same one. I'm going to start by making sure to put the title and author on mine. You should do the same on yours, of course. Make sure you spell the names correctly. You'll see it's taking me a moment because I'm making sure I spell everything right, okay? Once I've got that set up, for yours, you're going to be splitting your body in half, and you're going to label which side is the fantasy and which is the reality. Then make sure you actually get those traits on those sides. Sometimes people get those mixed up, and it can cost you points. Don't be that guy, okay? And I'm going to be using my text where I've looked at different traits for my character. So for instance, I'm doing the sniper, which of course I'm analyzing the sniper, the title character. And one of the things that I noticed was an action that he took. So this is going to be my first one. I'm going to put action here on my grade sheet because I want to make sure it's super clear. And this is number 1, right? So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to say action. I'm going to put a 1 with it. Okay, so it's very clear. I know exactly what goes with what now. And the first thing I need to do is list my trait. So I think that the sniper is daring. He's very daring. It's very exciting. He's very daring. And I know this because of that incident where he lights the cigarette, even though he knows it's a risk. Now the evidence I'm going to use is where it actually says he decided to take the risk. I'm going to make sure I have my quotation marks. That's very important. I'm also going to want to make sure that I have my citation. Now, because I have my author's name here and the title of my short story, all I need in my parentheses is the number 1. That's the page that this came from. I think that we can agree that taking a risk is daring. And so these have to line up, and I've done that here. My evidence matches what I'm saying in as my trait. Then I also need to create some sort of image to go along with that. And we talked about you could make this very, very realistic. So I could put in his hand an actual, like, old style lighter with a big flame coming out of it. Ooh, do I have some orange? I do. I thought I had some orange. Right? So I could do this. Okay? I think he lights a match, but hey, I like lighters. And it's not a literal representation, so it's okay. Another thing that I could do if I wanted to be maybe a little bit more artistic in my representation is I could draw flames up his arm, perhaps. So I could grab my highlighter and my pen here, and I could actually make it look like his arm is a flame, right? So I could make it. So it can be artistic or realistic. You can make him look like a person and like put something in his hand, or you can make it a little bit more, artsy and do an interpretation. And I would like yours to be neat. I'm kind of hurrying right now because I don't want you to have to watch this video for too long, which I thought you might appreciate. Do make it neat, but I'm not grading you on your artistic ability. Keep that in mind, okay? And you'll continue to do this. So when you're looking at this list in a moment, you're going to be looking at, you need to have 5 different traits for reality and 5 for fantasy for Walter Mitty. And again, clarifying which side is which on your body. You'll want to use different kinds of evidence in this column and make sure that they're matching up with what you write on your page, okay? So that when I'm grading, you know what I was grading exactly. It's very clear for you too, okay? Then keep in mind, there are 5 kinds of evidence, as you took notes on in those characterization videos, that we are relying on right now. They're also written on the board in the front of the room. That being said, it's okay to use one of them twice in each of these. So you need 5 different traits, but you could use 4 kinds of evidence and repeat one, and that would be okay. I realize that in different parts of the story, there's more of one kind of evidence than another, and it's all right to rely on that, okay? Make sure you're always thinking about the character, the personality of Walter Mitty, okay? So even when you're looking at his relationships, if you're talking about something going on with his wife or another character in one of his dream sequences, make sure you're concentrating on what that shows us about what kind of person Mitty is or thinks he is in his reality or his dream life. And the same goes for, speech. It can be his speech or someone else's speech. It just has to tell us something about Mitty. It can be his actions, of course. It can be his thoughts. We only see his thoughts, so that's really what you have to rely on there, right? And it is okay to use thoughts that maybe are a little bit more, someone asked about where he uses the word damn. It's okay to use that quote if you want, okay? Just make sure you're finding the right character trait word to help you out with that. And it's okay to look up a list of trait words if you're feeling stuck in the moment. That's totally acceptable. I hope that this has helped you kind of visualize what you're doing and that this has clarified the directions. If you have any questions, start with Coach Rains, and feel free to reach out to me by email if this or Coach Rains can't answer your question, okay? If you were in class on Wednesday, the goal is to have this done by the end of class on Thursday. If you were absent, you're going to have a little more time to do it, so don't stress out and just touch base with me when I get back on Friday, okay? Have a good one, guys.